All right, Virginians from across the state gathered in Richmond, Virginia today for the Commonwealth's annual March for Life, the first to take place since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last summer. Among the marchers was Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, who became actually the first governor to attend the event when he first marched last year as governor. Joining me now to discuss this and more is the governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. Governor, welcome to Washington Watch.
Tony, thank you for having me. And it was a great day in Richmond. We had thousands of people locking arms and marching for life. And we had folks from all over Virginia. We had children and younger folks and older folks all together expressing their desire and their support to protect life.
So, Governor, you've been the first governor that's marched in this event. I mean, why are you doing it? I mean, are you making a statement that this is an important issue?
Well, I am making a statement that it's an important issue, but the reality is I'm not sure what the other ones are doing. Virginia's elected a pro-life governor, and there's a moment to stand up for what you believe. And I was very, very honored to be able to join these thousands of Virginians today.
Now, you introduced the idea of a 15-week bill that would protect life after the time in which a child baby feels pain. You've allocated funding from the state budget toward this. Democrats in the Virginia Senate have blocked a late-term abortion ban. I mean, so you're in a fight there in the state of Virginia. What do you see as the way forward as this issue now clearly rests in the hands of state lawmakers?
Well, and we continue to press forward with it. The history of this issue in Virginia is one that's not pretty. And just a few years ago, on our House of Delegate floor, there was a floor debate to allow abortion all the way up through and including birth, paid for with taxpayer money.
Right.
But Virginians elected a pro-life governor, and we believed that we could bring people together around a bill that would protect life when a child can feel pain at 15 weeks. And I'm disappointed that it hasn't progressed. And our Senate Democrats, I think, are doing a true disservice to Virginians and not listening to them. Because what's clear is Virginians want fewer abortions, not more. What's clear is that a huge majority of Virginians support this approach to protect life when a child can feel pain. And that's not Republicans versus Democrats. That's including Democrats. A majority of Democrats support this bill.
Right.
And so I am very disappointed that the Senate Democrat leadership isn't listening to their constituents and is rather playing politics on a topic that is beyond politics. We're going to continue to work. We have real optimism around bills that are going to support women who are pregnant and provide them with the services that they need to have a healthy child and to bring that child into this world and support them going forward. And I'm excited about the holistic view of life that we are able to take. But we're going to continue to try to find a place where we can come together and protect the fact that a child does deserve this kind of protection. And we're going to come together, hopefully, around a bill in the future that will recognize that a child can feel pain at 15 weeks.
Well, it's certainly possible with you providing that leadership. And I just want to validate two things you said. Number one, I know you are a pro-life governor. You ran that way. You didn't hide that when you ran for governor. And you are right in that this is an issue when you talk about when a child feels pain, as we begin to try to build consensus around where do we draw the line to protect life. 60% of Americans say this is reasonable. Now, some would say, I think life begins at conception and we should protect it from that moment. But I realize we live in a democracy. We've got to build consensus. Clearly, this is a place of consensus. So I commend you on your leadership there. I want to ask you kind of another question, Governor. You really have fueled a lot of hope across America because of your bold leadership on a number of issues, especially education. Having been governor so far, got about a year under your belt, what has been the most rewarding thing for you to see transpire in the state of Virginia?
This has been a very encouraging year in its entirety. where we saw taxes reduced by $4 billion, and we're going to go back and get more. And we stood up for law enforcement and had record funding into law enforcement, and we've made government work better. But I am particularly encouraged by the great progress that we've made in education and empowering parents. And when a bipartisan bill was passed to empower parents to make decisions with regards to their child wearing a mask, and when a bipartisan bill was passed that empowered parents to make decisions about the materials that were used in the classroom, and if they were consistent with their family values, and if they weren't, they could get replacement materials. And when we are empowering parents to know what's going on in their children's lives, this is, I believe, at the foundation of Virginia values, that we know that children belong to parents.
Yeah.
They don't belong to the state. And we have to stand up for those rights. And so I'm encouraged by the progress that we have made. I am ambitious about our agenda going forward, to continue to stand up for parents' rights, to continue to stand up for excellence in education. We can raise the ceiling and the floor. We should not lose sight of the fact that Virginia's children should, in fact, have all the running room they can possibly take to live the best lives, the lives that God has, in fact, determined for them, not ones that people have determined for them.
Well, Governor, I can say that a lot of folks are encouraged by the progress you've made in education in the state of Virginia. We just got a few seconds left. A lot of listeners and viewers in Virginia. How can they be praying for you?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone who does pray for us. Suzanne and I just so appreciate it. And we see the fruits of those prayers every day. And so please be encouraged, because your prayers make such a difference as I see the Lord's presence in all that we're doing. And I have to start with continue to please pray for our family and our children and my lovely wife, who is just amazing. And pray for our agenda, that our agenda represents His will, and therefore His favor will be upon it, and that we can move hearts, and that we can bring people together to press forward down that path. It's just so humbling to know that people across Virginia and across the country are praying for us, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, Governor, we'll continue to do so. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always great to see you.